Welcome to Horror News Weekly. I'll be going through the horror movies that got announced or released this week. This week had some upright creepy, but also some ridiculous horror movies to talk about. Let's get right into them. Our first movie news is from a supernatural horror called Deliver Us. When a nun in a remote convent claims Immaculate Conception, the Vatican sends a team of priests to investigate. Concerns grow that an ancient prophecy is about to be fulfilled, that a woman will give birth to twin boys, one the Messiah, the other the Antichrist, and the ensuing battle will determine the fate of the world. The trailer shows us some great cinematic shots and creates an eerie atmosphere with the snowy forest setting. I think this will be a refreshing take on the good versus the evil, and it might be worth looking out for when it comes out on video on demand at the end of September this year.
And action!
Welcome. Today we'll be tackling an internet legend called the elevator game.
Next up, we've got a Shudder original, The Elevator Game. The story follows socially awkward teenager Ryan, who discovers that the night his sister disappeared she had played the elevator game, a ritual conducted in an elevator, in which players attempt to travel to another dimension using a set of rules that can be found online. Ignoring warnings, he resolves to follow and find her. The movie is based on an online phenomenon that originated in Japan and South Korea. It has been described as a ritual that will take the person to another world. It doesn't look like it's going to blow you away, but more like a fun watch if you really don't have much else to do. This movie apparently was on Shudder a few days ago but got removed for unknown reason. It is set to re-release on Shudder mid-September. Our next movie is How to Kill a Monster. The sole survivor of a blood-drenched massacre must team up with a bunch of rookie cops and lawbreakers to fight off an invasion of monsters from another dimension. We don't really have any more information except this trailer that just shows people massacring a bunch of Lovecraftian-looking monsters. Watching the trailer really gave me some Shaun of the Dead vibes mixed with a little Evil Dead.
I mean, come on, it's been done.
I don't think this movie will be too serious, but a great laugh. I really look forward to this one releasing, but we don't have any info on when that will be.
Fuck off.
What the hell is that?
So next to be released is the movie Dear David. Shortly after comic artist Adam responds to internet trolls, he begins experiencing sleep paralysis while an empty rocking chair moves in the corner of his apartment. Adam begins to believe he is being haunted by the ghost of a dead child named David. Encouraged by his boss to continue the Dear David thread, Adam starts to lose his grip on what is online and what is real. This movie will star Justin Long, even though he is not shown in the trailer. Based on the plot, I don't expect too much of the movie. It seems to be a bit too far-searched in my opinion, but the trailer doesn't look too bad. Let me know how you think this movie is gonna turn out when it releases in October on video. Now get ready for the weirdest movie of the list, Good Boy. Sigrid thinks she's met the perfect match with the charming and handsome Christian, but there is one catch. He lives with a man who acts like his pet dog. Trying to be open-minded, Sigrid continues the relationship but begins to notice an insidious undertone to Christian. Maybe puppy play isn't as innocent as it seems. At the beginning of the trailer I thought this was some kind of awful B-movie, but it turns out it's actually going to be a very odd psychological horror. I think it's a fresh take on the premise of a female going home with a good-looking guy, but the guy turning out to be an actual psycho. I will definitely check this movie out when it releases on video in September. This September we will be getting the movie All Fun and Games. This movie stars a bunch of very well-known actors like Asa Butterfield and Natalia Dyer. The story is about a group of Salem teens. They discover a cursed knife that unleashes a demon that forces them to play gruesome, deadly versions of childhood games where there can be no winners, only survivors. Again, this movie doesn't look like it's going to be anything too serious. The trailer kind of reminds me of the Netflix movie The Babysitter, because of all the gore scenes and the kind of goofy story. Funnily enough, this won't be on Netflix but on video next month.
I will play. Marcus! I won't quit. I will play. I won't quit.
Let's play a new game.
The last movie on my list is Werewolf Santa. You heard that right, Werewolf Santa. Santa turns into a werewolf on Christmas Eve and wreaks havoc in a small seaside town. Lucy has a show called Monster Hunters on YouTube, but it's not doing too great with just a few viewers following her. That is until, on Christmas Eve, her camera witnesses Santa get bit by a werewolf in the local park before turning into a werewolf himself. Lucy and her family then set off on a Christmas Eve adventure to somehow save Christmas, armed with just a rusty ice skate and a vague understanding of how werewolves operate. This movie is probably not gonna be a masterpiece, but don't you have those really bad horror movies that you just absolutely love to watch? This is looking like it's gonna be one of those. Don't expect the best storyline or special effects, and you're probably gonna have a very fun watch. Now let's see what movies got released this week. This Friday has 4 new movies prepared for us. The first one is Bad Things, which shows a weekend getaway for a few friends at a snowy resort becoming a psychological tailspin and bloody nightmare. It will be released on Shudder. Then we have 2 movies releasing on video. Dark Windows is about the story of 4 teenagers who were involved in a car crash. One of them dies, and when the others are blamed for her death, they decide to stay at a summer house in the U.S. countryside to get out of town and work through their grief. Then a masked man starts to terrorize them. The Haunting of the Queen Mary explores the mysterious and violent incidents that occurred around one family's cruise on Halloween night in 1938, and how those occurrences connect to another family's fate on the same ocean liner up until the present. I've watched many paranormal investigator videos about this ship, and I'm really stoked about this one releasing. The last movie releasing this week is Rebirth. A morgue technician successfully reanimates the body of a little girl, but to keep her breathing, she will need to harvest biological materials from pregnant women. When the girl's mother, a nurse, discovers her baby alive, they enter into a deal that forces them both down a dark path of no return. I've seen this trailer a while ago, and let me tell you to not watch this if you weak stomach. And that was all horror news I had for you guys this week. Make sure to let me know which movie you are most looking forward to, or let me know if I missed any. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you made it this far, and I will see you in the next video.